Okay, I've always been curious to know if I could do a scene in about 5 minutes without skipping any of the any steps. Not just doing one color instead of four colors, or leaving out pigment ink and bleed-proof white, and not stamping out a complete scene, just stamping one stamp or something like that. This is a test here. My first, I don't know. I've done, quick cards before, but let's see what we can actually accomplish, or if we can indeed do a full scene, complete with all the little steps that I usually do, but in 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be indicative of the size and the dimensions. I'm not going to do a full page scene or something like that. We'll start with a regular quarter page card. This one's going to be on glossy cardstock. That's not going to make the process any faster. I just like the looks of it. In general, I don't know, it might help the ink application a touch. I don't know. But I have everything prepared. I have my bleed proof white kind of mixed up. I've already shaken up my white paint pen because time is of the essence, and I've washed out my little toothbrush here for my bleed-proof white and so forth. I have my pads ready to go. Let's see what we can do here. Now, okay, now I'm not going to do 5 different colors here. I'm going to go with a Distress Tumbled Glass and a Prussian blue, something like a really deep navy blue here, just to get that color down on there quickly. And we're going to focus this arrangement around nature set number 9 here, okay? All right. So I'm at about 1 minute 50 into this video, kind of blabbing away, explaining what this process is going to be about. And let's start. I don't know why I just started, I don't know, I got confused there and I pressed my record button, not like I wasn't already recording. Okay, now the thing that makes things go really quickly is just to start off with re-inker fluid. I can't emphasize this enough. It just makes things so much faster. We just have a paper towel here. Now I'm going to do a moon over the lake scene. That's the general components that come with nature set number 9. Now here's what I'm going to do here. Okay, I'm going to blend this in. I'm going to do like this kind of, I don't know, it's almost like a figure 8 type of configuration here with my colors. In terms of the lighting, okay, so I'm going to have an area of light up top and an area of reflected light down below. Okay, now this color right here, this tumbled glass, is pretty light, okay? So I am going to get a decent amount of coverage here. I guess it isn't really a 8, but sometimes that, circle of light in the sky and in the reflection kind of meet up in the middle, but we'll just go about right there. It's a pretty light color, and just because I'm not using several different colors, we'll just go with that. Okay, so we're going to use the same paper towel here. We're going to ink up like so. All right, now we're taking a pretty big jump in value, okay? Going from something really light to really quite dark, quite dark in comparison. Maybe I should have used the number 10 blue. In fact, maybe I will do that. This is a big jump right here. Okay, now, you see how things are really streaky looking? That enhances things. A lot of people don't like to see. I don't know where brush marks, became kind of, the enemy of the stamper. I mean, brush marks are really important to painters. To show that brush hand done quality. It's part of the aesthetics. Kind of making things look. I don't know where in stamping. A lot of times people think kind of like having something done like it's been like you're a machine that did it, and that the human hand never touched it is like the aesthetic. That doesn't make sense to me from an artistic standpoint. Okay, so that was that really dark blue. Let's switch up here and let's go to kind of an intermediate blue right here. Like if a memento would be a Bahama blue. Yeah, look how much nicer that is to have that intermediate color in there. So let that be a lesson to us that, yeah, maybe let's not skip kind of those medium tones in there. But look how much more vibrant and rich that is. This is a Marvy number 10 Marvy inks are really quite bright and vivid. Okay. All right, where are we? 3:06. So I'm going on this. That took about a minute, I guess. Or no, it took 3 minutes. Sorry. I started at the 2-minute mark. All right. I'm hurrying along. I don't think I'm going to make it. But this is a test to see just how fast I could get something done. Cloud with moon up in the sky. I'm kind of aiming for that moon to be right in that light area. If I get a little to the side, no big deal. Okay. All right, so that has been laid down in the Prussian blue. Let's take this and kind of merge that together now. You could have stamped it first and toned in around it too. You don't have to do it like I did to get that background first. The background first type of process tends to go a little bit faster though. Just in terms of the entire process, if you stamp something out in black, chances are you might have to wait for it to dry a little bit, and, we're not waiting at all in this process right here of, we're going for speed. All right, now this is the Lakeside Cove. I tell you what, I think I'm going to stamp this out in that dark Prussian blue, okay? Again, you can stamp it out in black, though. I think the Prussian blue might give us a little bit more depth, and I'll save the pines and rocks that come in that set for black. Okay. All right, we'll just stamp that right in center. All right. See how doing it in blue kind of sets it back a little bit. If it was in black, it would have come up a little bit too, which is not incorrect by any means. Okay. So we have our foundation set. Look how great that looks, right? And done in blue, I'm saying. Okay, now this is a, this is a nighttime type of scene, so I'm going to do these. This water lily type of grass here in blue, because, at nighttime you wouldn't see, all different types of colors in there. All right, and then we have our pines and rocks here. I don't think I'm going to do my birds. And I tell you what, let's do this one in a nice dark black. Let's go with a Versafine Clair, okay? And ink that up. Let's see, where am I? I'm already 1 minute over. And I still have a couple things to do here, but... Oh, I smeared! It doesn't look too bad. The Versafine Clair is a really thick ink, so be careful about that. I kind of went a little bit. I guess I am rushing here, but I don't know. If I can do this in, 10 minutes, well, let's try to get it as close to 5 as we can, though. I'm trying to not double the time. Okay, so we have that. All right, now let's use a little bit of this Brilliance here on a cotton ball. And see that moon in here? Everything looks very crisp and stamped out. That's, what we want out of our impressions, but I want to go for a lot of my different effects here. So let's put some of this white pigment ink. Yeah, I'm using the Brilliance. You can use a regular pigment ink, it'll dry on here just fine. Okay, but I'm just going for kind of a light dabbing around in the light area. Add it to where you still have white, okay? You can add it in some other areas, but usually where it's white. But look at this, it's where light meets dark. So see that? I'm adding that down there in my clouds, and I'm putting it over some of those trees, and it makes it look like those trees are kind of getting pushed back in the distance a little bit from a visual standpoint. But look at that soft moonlight glow now that we have in there. Doesn't it change everything from a kind of a textural standpoint? Having that kind of lighter touch in there, like so. See that right there? It's really glowing now. All right. Let's go to our bleed-proof white here. I tell you what, let's add in our little character in here. We might as well, while we're at it. All right, so this is a little canoeist, and let's say that anything, I draw draw my canoeist here onto my Clair. It still sticks though. Let's say this canoeist in here is farther back in the distance. You could stamp it out in black to kind of stand out a little bit more, but I'm going to stamp him out in dark blue so that he kind of recedes, all right? Isn't that great? You know, to have the use of value to create depth. So if you want things to look farther in the distance, the lighter you stamp it within the kind of your color scheme. All right, so we have some bleed-proof white here, and we're just going to get it onto our toothbrush here and take out a lot of it so you don't kind of, you know, get a big blob, you know, on your paper. And we have the very light kind of soft application of white and with the Brilliance pigment ink. And we're going for some nice, sharp, crisp detailing with these little crisp little dots, and that's what the bleed-proof white is so perfect for, because it is so opaque even in a very thin and even tiny application. Other types of inks can work, or, you know, back when, so a lot of people used to even use, this has been out there for a while, but a lot of people weren't using it in stamping. I used it because I had a bottle of it from my art classes in college, and I don't know, like a 20-year bottle I pulled out, but anyways, it's a crisp little addition there. It looks like I'm at the 9.5 minute mark, but that's not too bad for a, you know, a fully realized scene. I'll try to get down to that 5 minute a little bit faster. Maybe I'll have to leave out a, you know, one thing or another, maybe just one impression down there for my Lakeside Cove instead of 3 impressions or whatnot. But not too bad, you know, in terms of a finished piece. You know, a lot of times people say, oh my gosh, you make it look so easy. Well, this is like a 10-minute card here that has 3 different colors. So you have a little ink blending in there. 3 different impressions for my main area. Okay, my Lakeside Cove, which is, you know, nature set number 9. The sky figure stamped and then incorporated with a little bit more ink. All right, light source. Visual depth with the use of multiple tones, darker images for the foreground, lighter images in the background. Soft application of pigment ink media, white. Sharp additional textures with the use of the bleed-proof white and splatter painting technique. You can add all that in with, you know, paint pen or something like that, going dot by dot. You're not going to add this much in here usually with the pen, but you can certainly do that. But that would just add on a little bit of time. And I do use that. A lot of times I use it in conjunction with one another. But I don't know, a pretty fun scene to do and a nice challenge. You know, so 10-minute scene. I'll have to try to get that down to 5. I'm really curious to know what kind of things. That would, you know, probably be braring or something like a brayered background for a 5-minute scene. But, you know, something like this could easily be done. All right, so quick scene. Fun stuff to do. I do really enjoy these scenes. It's kind of, the speed kind of aspect is, you know, kind of a challenge for me in getting that, I don't know, fully realized scenes done very quickly. So, I don't know, kind of a little bit of a race. It's like the sport of stamping or something like that. All right, so anyways, hope you enjoyed the scene and the entire process. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning into the Stampscapes channel.